Today, President Obama will announce plans to open a U.S. embassy in Cuba, but it's still hard for American citizens to fly there directly. Still, travelers from the United States will have new opportunities soon to travel to Cuba by air. Joining us now is travel insider Mark Murphy. He's the president and CEO of Travel Alliance Media. So talk a little bit about the ways travel in Cuba is changing and will change in the near future.
So right now you can go ahead and book a trip. It's got to be under 12 guidelines. So people to people, cultural, educational. If you're a journalist like you and I can go down there, no problem. But you're on a special itinerary, and it's very, very expensive. A lot of the tours are 10 to 14 days with tour operators. You spend that money to go down, so it's not a cheap trip. And while you're there, they have scheduled itineraries. You just can't go and flop on the beach.
Now, listen, when we first heard about the plans to normalize relations with Cuba, we heard from JetBlue and United right away, oh, we're going to make plans to fly to Cuba. Does that make things easier for Americans?
Yeah, it will eventually. So right now, the latest news is the various GDSs, global distribution systems, that allow the ticketing of air travel are going to open up ticketing for travel agencies in the U.S., including online travel agencies, to be able to book those tickets through their system.
So
that's
in other words,
open
you could go maybe to Travelocity and book a flight to Cuba.
Correct. Yeah, and each of the individual agencies have to be authorized to be able to do that. But that's now available. It started with Travelport, one of the GDSs.
Are there direct flights from the United States right now that you could book?
So if you want to go, like Apple Vacations just launched a much more valuable, a much cheaper trip where for about $2,700 per person, you can now go down, not spend as much time, but it's still an escorted type of trip. You're not just going down and hanging on the beach and just wandering around. They've got you on a schedule pretty much.
Yeah, a lot cheaper if you just go to the next island over. Yeah. All right, so frequent flyers beware, no longer free to check a bag when you're flying JetBlue. What? This was like JetBlue's big thing. Hey, your bags fly free.
Exactly. And, you know, that's really the line from Southwest, right? Bags fly free, but JetBlue's been doing it for years,
now Southwest is the only one who's doing it, right?
That's it. And that's going to be their unique sales proposition, including the fun and things that you do on Southwest. However, with JetBlue, you know, it's interesting. So they changed that, but they brought down their change fee a little bit, which I like. They made the second bag checked a little bit cheaper. But here's what they did. I just flew them yesterday.
Okay.
They've got great space right now. Please, JetBlue, do not limit the seating and the pitch, which is the space between the seats, because right now it's comfortable in coach.
I gotta tell you, I'm annoyed because most of the airlines that I'm now flying have started all of a sudden really enforcing the carry-on bag. So you're going to pay $25 to check your bag. You're like, fine, I'm going to pack my carry-on. And all of a sudden, those little boxes where they say whether your carry-on fits or not, they're small.
You think they're shrinking?
Yeah, no lie.
All right.
I got turned away from a bag that I've carried on for years and years.
That drives me crazy when they tell you can't bring it on. And you've been doing it, and you just flew down on that airline. So
I went to another entry point and got it on fine.
Exactly.
But it's just, it is annoying. It's like they're trying everything that they can do to get that bag fee out of me.
Correct. And that's and the investors have cheered JetBlue stock. It's doubled in the last 12 months.
If it makes more money for JetBlue,
that's
they're
what it's
excited.
going to do. But here's what they're giving back. So what they're doing is they're giving everybody satellite TV access in a little bit later this year, and they're also giving you free Wi-Fi when you fly. It's a smart move from their standpoint because it's about entertainment, it's about social media and sharing, which is a great move, and they're not giving up that much revenue because the money on the bags far outweighs the usage of the satellite TV and
the next story that we're going to talk about, it seems like, ooh, big news for rich people. If you want to get somewhere really fast, especially in Manhattan, I got to tell you, like this is I'm just going to take a chopper out to the Hamptons,
well, why not?
Yeah, but now there's a new service that lets you basically Uber
a helicopter. Now, you and I are doing that later, right? We're getting out of town?
Listen, I would love to do it. I have yet to get anywhere. The only choppers I've ever been in are news choppers where I had to work for a living.
There you go, right? So it's an interesting app. It basically is tied to some charter operators here in New York, and it gives you access to places like Fire Island, the Hamptons, now Nantucket, Cape Cod. So you can do it and book a chartered flight and buy a seat on it, but you can also charter your own flight and crowdsource it, meaning I want to schedule for this day and this time, and I want to go, and then it opens it up to the community to actually book as well. And we think it's expensive.
How much?
About $575 to get out to the Hamptons for one person.
How does that compare to like the way that normal people chop around to the
nobody normal choppers out. That's the thing. We all drive and go insane for 5 hours.
Right. Okay.
So we just stay out of the Hamptons, you know. Right. So that's one of the challenges that you have. But it's an expensive proposition.
I like it. You know what? I think everybody ought to have apps. Poor people, rich people. You know.
Why not? Why not?
Uber for chopping. shoppers.
I
Who would have thought it?
I love Uber. I love the concept of crowdsourcing and
But you can
value.
do it for buses too, right?
Yeah, we talked about that. I think it was last week here. Skedaddle, exactly.
I mean, that's kind of
so
cool.
it's kind of the future, the sharing economy, the crowdsourcing economy. Everybody getting in, getting their little piece.
Mark, thank you.
Thanks.